Good evening, YouTube. It's Mr. Rolldaddy here. Got my Hawkeye tie on, and it's time for that weekly video of this project that I love doing. Of course, it's Mr. Rolldaddy's Hawkeye football analyst, but it's not just any week of this series of Mr. Rolldaddy's Hawkeye football analysts. It's not just any game. It's not just even any week. And if you're down in the state of Iowa, you know that this is not just any week. And it's not just any game, it's a huge event. Because this weekend, we have the CyHawk Game as Iowa and Iowa State are battling each other for bragging rights throughout the state for the next year and to take home the CyHawk Trophy. And I hope to Christ Iowa gets it back after last year. So let's get going here. Now, again, disclaimer, all views which I express in this video are completely my own. They do not represent those of, or the interest of, the University of Iowa, the opposing school, any media outlets, athletic departments, coaches, players, staff, university officials, or anybody or anything which is otherwise affiliated with the upcoming game or with the business of college football. I am a just for fun sports analyst doing a projects based off of the university and collegiate football team I love. I'm an alumnus of the University of Iowa and a Hawkeye for life. I always want the best for my school, so here we go. So, it sucked last year to lose this intense rivalry game, and I'm going to say it's a top 5 rivalry game in the entire nation. And even worse, it was on our home turf. But even worse after that, the Hawkeyes came so close to winning this game. All that the Hawks needed was just one more offensive scoring drive. And this year, Iowa just cannot miss the opportunities to put those points up on the board. And for the Hawkeyes, you got to remember how it felt last year and just don't do it again this year. Iowa State nickname as a whole is the Hawkeye State. But when it comes to this game, it's got to be earned every year for it to be a Hawkeye State. Iowa's got to go out and earn just that. So as always, we start out with my side of the ball that I played football on in high school and the one I have more knowledge of, the offense. So, my first offensive role key for this week, motion our wide receivers. Anderson, Vines, and Raganini. Get those guys in motion constantly and out of the sets where you motion wide receivers. And the reason I say this is this forces, and remember, I'm big on forcing the opponent to try to adjust or do something. It forces the Cyclone defense to constantly adjust. And because of that, it doesn't even have to be a passing play. It doesn't even have to go to the receiver in motion. Hawkeye, it can, of course, jet sweeps are good, but Hawkeyes can get creative as they can run to or from, or even away from that player that you send in motion. They don't even have to be the ball carrier at all. And there's so many things you can do when you put those wideouts in motion. Do it this weekend. Next, play action passing out of the I formation. So, I know Cade McNamara is dealing with a quad injury, and while he should be at full strength, I do wonder if Iowa is going to run a little more. Brian Ferentz may end up calling some more running plays, but here's something I thought of. Run some passes that are pure play action fakes out of the I formation, because if you're doing that, this may end up having the Cyclones defense. They might end up expecting a running play, because it's especially the twin tight ends, and especially if it's I formation, especially if the fullback's there, they may think, oh, they are certainly running. They're taking some load off of Cade. But who says you have to in that formation? This is a great way for Iowa to pass the ball when least expected. And again, tight ends, Iowa's got them. Eric All, Luke Lachey, they have the tight ends to make the strategy work out very well. So do it. Just do the play action passing out of the I formation. Try to catch the Cyclones defense off guard by throwing it when they least expect you to do so. Next, send Tampa to Tampa. Okay, not literally, but TJ Tampa, he is Iowa State's senior defensive back, and he even wears number 2, so I called it Tampa to Tampa. Make him get beat in the passing and running games this weekend. And figuratively, have him beat, have him miss assignments to where Iowa's offense, it's seeming like they're sending Mr. Tampa down to Tampa. And again, he wears jersey number 2. So there you have it. Have him missing, have him sent down to Tampa. Make him feel like he's on a Florida vacation to Tampa away from the rest of the team. Now, on the defensive side, my first defensive rookie of the week. Confuse this new quarterback, Rocco Becht. He's the freshman. Yes, freshman quarterback, but he wasn't even supposed to start this year. He got thrust into the lineup about a month ago after Hunter Deckers got suspended for gambling. And who even knows if Hunter Deckers is even going to come back and ever play again for the Cyclones or for any college team at this point. But, now, well, I'm not going to go into any more of that, but this is a very sudden change for this quarterback to be starting this early when it was never his plan. He's very young, and again, he's the Sun starting quarterback. Now, look, the Big 12, they're obviously becoming like the least of all those Power 5 conferences. Like, they're number 5 out of 5 on the list of the power in those Power 5 conferences. So, but Big 10, it's up there. So, to show back that, oh, you haven't seen the true good side of Power 5 D1 football. Iowa's defense, get those blitz packages, coverages, defensive alignments, D-line motions, and linebacker assignments. Mix them up. Have them wondering what the hell is going on sometimes. Because if you do that, you may get them lost, and you may not get them to do his assignments right. You may get him confused, and especially considering he doesn't have a lot of experience playing at this level just yet. Now, this is an interesting one. Press coverages when past midfield. And if you are not aware of a lot of football strategy, what a press coverage is when a defensive back or a linebacker jams a wide receiver at the line of scrimmage. And it's right after a ball's hiked and it's before a passing play. It's legal to do so. They'll push on the wide receivers. They'll interrupt their routes and jam them at the line of scrimmage. And I really see this as another great way to get that young new quarterback to be off target and confused, because ultimately what press coverage does is, when done right, and especially against receivers that maybe aren't the most effective against press coverages, they have less time to get open. Which again, this new quarterback, Rocco Becht, he needs a lot of time to be successful, but Iowa can make sure he gets less time by, and I believe press coverage is one of the best ways they can do that. And especially do so beyond midfield. And because when teams cross midfield, they're going to be throwing the ball a lot more to score. Use those press coverages there. Now, my third defensive rookie. This is a very interesting one, but it helped the team win a championship. Forced them to beat you with the passing game. The 2018 New England Patriots, when they played the Rams in that Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta, they came up with a very interesting strategy which helped them win the game. And I'm going to say this won them the game more than Tom Brady won them the game. They forced the Rams to beat them by Jared Goff's deep passing. Now, I think Jared Goff is a really good quarterback. I think he's doing good things in Detroit this year under Dan Campbell. But he was the even if not the weaker link on that talented Rams squad. And so what the Patriots did is they knew it, so they eliminated the options for his quick, speedy wide receivers that get open quickly. They eliminated the running game opportunities. They employed schemes where they stacked up a lot of guys in the box, and they said to the Rams, if you want to win this game, you're going to have to pass the ball deep. And when that happens, Goff threw interceptions. He just couldn't connect. Well, an inexperienced quarterback like Rocco Becht, this is a really good strategy to utilize. And you know, Kirk Ferentz, He's very close with Bill Belichick, so I'm sure Bill Belichick can help him out with doing this. But I really think this is one of the best ways Iowa's defense can help the offense win, forcing that new quarterback to throw deep, which, again, he doesn't have a lot of experience of. Now, stat time of the week again. Rolldaddy's Big Roll of the Week. And again, this is an interesting strategy, formation, trick play, or otherwise surprise tactic, which I would use if I was an Iowa coach to potentially catch the opponent off guard and maybe give an unexpected advantage to the Hawkeyes. And again, each big roll is only allowed to be used once in a season. And the one that he used for an opponent last year or a similar replacement opponent cannot be used again this year. So here we go. Triple option on 25% of the plays. I remember my semifinal game of the high school playoffs back in my junior year. I had a super good team, but we lost and got demolished all because we played an opponent that ran the triple option super, super well. Now, I'm not saying Iowa should do this every single play, and I wouldn't if it was 25%, but triple option gets you four different possible ball carriers, the quarterback or 3 running backs. But the thing about that is what I learned in our semifinal loss my junior year is those triple option teams, you're just not going to know when they're going to pass. And when they pass, it's when you least expect it, and it's a play fake run. It's a good way to catch Iowa State's defense off guard, and you can have them have no clue on who might get the ball for Iowa on any given play. And Iowa's not a triple option-based team anyways. Teams have not seen on film Iowa running this triple option. Can create confusion for Iowa State. And if you watched my video last week, I said even if coaches run trick plays just a few times in the game, even just a few times a year, that gives opposing coaches the thought that it could even possibly happen as a trick play. So it forces opposing coaches to prepare for trick plays that may or may not happen. So try it this week. See if it works. I thank you all for watching this week's episode. I want my Hawkeyes. I want them winning this game. I want that CyHawk Trophy back in Iowa City where it belongs. But they've just got to make sure it comes back. And if it does, I will be very, very happy come Saturday. I will see you again next week as I break down Iowa versus Western Michigan. Have a great night.